everyone, my name is Clarissa and I'm the owner of Arrondi. I'm so excited you're here to make this DIY necklace or bracelet. So this is a new thing for me, so I'm so excited that you are along on this journey. So right now I'm going to kind of go through the box and a couple little pieces of information. So right now we have the box here. You got this in the mail. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So you're going to open it up. I probably already have opened it up at this point just to be able to get all this information. But anyways, so we have this box here. I'm sure you saw. We have all of the beads and findings in the tissue. So we have the beads, the pearls, and all of the findings like the wire and everything. And then kind of at the bottom here, we have the thank you note. The jewelry care card just kind of gives some more information about the jewelry and how to care for it. And then we have the business card, social media links, all that kind of stuff. I would love to see all your stuff on social media, so please tag me and all that kind of stuff. And then tarnish cloth just to be able to shine up the endings and all those kind of things. So and then I'm sure you've seen the QR code. That's kind of how you are able to see this video. So I'm so glad that you guys were able to follow this. I would maybe suggest even taking the link, putting it on your computer so you have a bigger screen to be able to view all of this on. And then kind of at the bottom here, obviously, if you did order tools, that $18 tool kit, it's going to be at the bottom here in this little wrapped bag. And those are going to be these guys. So I have 2 pliers. These are going to be used for the jump rings. I have the wire cutter. These are to cut all those loose ends of the wire. And then I have the crimp plier, and this has these 2 indents and allows you to make those beautiful pieces of jewelry, and they will last a long time. They won't fall out, anything of that. So yeah, and you'll kind of end up with something like this or whatever piece of jewelry that you chose. I think another thing to add on to this is make sure you have a ruler. I would suggest maybe an 18-inch, but really it's there just for more guidance, so you're kind of tracking along. Make sure you read those notes that I posted in the article of your piece, and just have fun with it, be patient, and try to be creative. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email, Etsy messaging, Instagram messaging, any of those things. My help kind of comes with this whole kit, so feel free and don't feel afraid to reach out if you have any questions about a step you don't understand or anything like that. So thank you so much and have so much fun. All right, so now we are going to go through the beginning steps of how to make a piece of jewelry. So in your box, you will have the correct length beading wire. It'll be either gold or silver depending on what the piece of jewelry you chose. So right now I'm going to actually be making a 6-inch pearl bracelet for one of my clients. So I'm going to measure out what I need to measure out. All right, so now I measured out what I need, a little bit longer than really what obviously the size is. And the piece of beading wire that you're gonna get is going to be much longer than the actual length of the piece of jewelry. So just keep that in mind. So don't be, unsure about that part of it. It's for a reason. I'm first gonna grab here my crimps. You will have 3 crimps in your box, but really you only need 2. I just add an extra one just in case. It really is just a kind of this really small tube, only a couple millimeters, okay? So that's kind of what we're going to be using today to secure the necklace or bracelet. So I'm just going to loop it here like this. All right, so now I'm gonna grab my wire guardians. I'm doing a silver bracelet. So now I have these 2 wire guardians. They're just got like a horse shoe shape, and they just protect the wire so that your piece of jewelry is going to last a lot longer. So what's basically going to happen here is you're going to loop through the one end, doesn't matter what end. So then you'll end up being like this, okay? And then you're going to kind of maybe tug it so that you have about, I'd say 1 inch or 2. All right. You're going to loop through this way, through the other end of the horseshoe. You're going to pull through like this, and it should look like this, okay? And now you have the crimp. So you're basically going to make sure that the crimp is going in both of the ends of the wire here. So now you're going to end up looking like this, okay? So this is where one of the tools comes in. It is called a crimp tool, and it's specifically for using crimps in beaded jewelry, okay? So basically what you're going to do is you're going to kind of have the wire flat, and if you can kind of see they're flat through that tube, you're going to do your best to make sure it's kind of flat like this. You're going to use this tool. You're going to use this part first right here. It has a little indent, okay? So don't try this second hole. Do this little first one. So basically it's going to go like this. You're going to close it in. So see, it's in that first hole there. And what this basically is going to do is it's going to crimp that wire so that it almost has 2 pathways and it's secure in there, okay? So I'm going to press down, all right? And now you can see it has this little dent here, and that's what this little dent in the crimp tool kind of did for us, all right? Okay. So kind of what I do after that is I take now the tip of the crimp tool, like right here, okay, and I go on this side that is indented, and I just kind of scoop my crimp tools in there, and I just squeeze down. And this just really makes sure that we are all secure and set, and that it is not going anywhere, all right? So after you're done doing this, you're going to take that second hole that is just doesn't have an indent or anything, and you're going to kind of do this on the side here, right like this. It's focusing. All right. So it's going to be on the side here. You're not going to go like this and do it flat. Turn to the side, okay, and use that second hole here and crimp that down, all right? So now you can see we have something that is super secure. It got bent, so now, as you can see, it's very secure, and it's through those 2 pathways, so like it's not going anywhere, pulling it really hard, okay? All right. So right now, you know, we're only going 6 inches. This is a pretty long piece of wire. The next part is, all right, now we're going to put the crimp covers on. In your box, you'll have the cording finish. So right now, like I said, I'm doing silver. But first, I do want to cut off this end. So now we're going to use our wire cutters. We're going to cut all the way down as far as possible. And clip. All right, so now we don't have to worry about it because it is super secure here. It's not going anywhere, all right? So now I'm going to take my crimping pliers once again, all right? I am going to find my crimp bead, and I'm going to kind of nudge it in that second hole like this, okay? So now cover the crimp that you just worked on. And once you get there, you're going to just ever so slightly close it like this, all right? It's nothing super powerful. Let the crimp pliers do their job. So now I kind of have it on. I'm going to kind of make sure it's closed. And really, this part is kind of not super necessary. It's just more of an aesthetic preference that I usually include in my jewelry. So now we have that cover crimp. It looks super clean, like it looks like a bead that would be just naturally on that piece of jewelry. So now I'm just kind of threading on these pearls, and I'm making the LOE 6-inch with silver fastenings for an Etsy customer. But I just kind of want to show you, I mean, it's really simple. I mean, this is probably going to be the most fun and easy part of doing this for sure. So, all right, let's finish off this necklace. So I'm going to loop my crimp bead through. All right, she's not going anywhere. She stopped by that. And I'm going to grab my, again, my wire guardian. Okay, so again, she's going to loop through like this, pull, loop back, and pull. So it'll end up looking like this. Okay, so this can be a little tricky, so be patient with yourself. All right. So you're gonna take the crimp here. I have it kind of on my finger. You're gonna delicately loop that extra thread at the end through like this, and I promise you'll have plenty to do this. All right, plenty. Okay, loop. You're gonna pull, tug until it's tight. Sometimes I kind of push, you know, this crimp bead up so it's super tight, and I keep pulling this way. All right. There's really no good exact way to do this. It can be challenging, but it really is just how you end up doing it. So, okay, so now I have my end here. You can see I have my other end, which is where it's looped through with the pearls. So what I do is I hold it like this. I take my crimp pliers. I kind of make sure, yep, you know, we're kind of parallel to each other here. It's kind of hard to focus. Yeah. So we're parallel throughout the tube. All right. So I kind of hold, I push it through. Remember, it's that first crimp, not the second crimp thing. That first crimp. I'm going to push down. All right, so we're good here. We're secure now. See? So we have the two threads kind of parallel to each other, and then that crimp, the indent right here to secure it. And again, it is this one with that, I don't know if you can see. You can see that there's a little indent right there, and that's what creates that indent, okay? So to really secure it, sometimes you don't even need to, but I just choose to, is just to take the end, right here, the end, and just simply press. Okay, very gently, nothing crazy. All right, again, it's the same process as starting it. We're going here. We're going kind of, I guess you would say horizontal. You're gonna press that, or put that right on there, and gently press, okay? So now, again, we have the perfect secured grip. It's not going anywhere, all right? Sometimes I just kind of play around with it, really make sure that we're indented and we're all good to go. This is where that wire cutter part comes in. All right, we get up really close, and take your time with this. Take your time. You know, you can bend it like this. That's all good. Bend it like this and cut as close as you possibly can. without clipping that crimp, okay? So I just kind of bent it, snipped, and we're all good. All right, so it should look like this. All right. And we repeat, again, the same exact thing. All right. We take, they're stuck together. All right, we take our silver or gold crimp cover. And you know what, if you're like, I don't want to do this extra step, it's secured either way. So don't worry about it. If you don't want to take the extra step, you're like, okay, I'm done. That's fine too. But to really polish your piece of jewelry, this might be a step that you want to take, and it is included in your box. So, you know, whatever you want to do. All right, so I hold it by that wire guardian. I kind of hook it on. All right, hook it on. So now, as you can see, we're totally through, and we can easily just gently press it. All right, and sometimes I go around again, I press it now this way, or I kind of go here and press it, so I shape it into the form that I want. Let's say that you accidentally kind of like mess up and it doesn't go around the whole thing. Sometimes if you just squeeze that crimp bead, she'll kind of come off, and you can take it off like this. Now she's loose. She falls off, okay? So you make a mistake with that, that's totally fine. Just kind of crimp it and move it. Oh, jeez. Crimp it and maneuver it the other way around, kind of like what I just did. The crimp is super strong, so it's not going to be affected, okay? So I'm going to just put it on again. Again, loop, press. Presses. Okay, so I'm going to be giving you in your pack some jump rings. So for this bracelet, I'm going to be getting kind of like a smaller to medium size jump ring right here. Okay, if you did order the pliers with it, you're going to essentially take the pliers that we have here. You're going to kind of use both of them in this way, as you can see. Okay, so it's closed at the moment. The jump ring is closed. What you're going to do, you're going to open the jump ring. And sometimes it takes some pulling. Don't be afraid to pull. You're going to open it and you're going to kind of twist in opposite directions. So then you'll end up with something like this. Okay, you end up with something open like this. All right. This is going to be the one that you loop through your lobster clasp. So loop through, sometimes you have to kind of tug it through. So then she's dangling like this. Really it's preference what end. I usually put the clasp or toggle on the left side. So I'll take this, and obviously it doesn't really matter as much with the pearl. I'll take this, I'll loop it through that wire guardian here. Okay, that wire guardian. So it'll kind of be hanging here. And I'll take my other plier, and it'll be the same thing, but just opposite. So now you're pulling that jump ring together. So now it's closed. Like this. Sometimes you have to move around with it. So I'll kind of make sure that it's closed. Sometimes I'll kind of go like this, where I press down to really make sure that it's fully closed. And it obviously with jump rings, it's always gonna be a little bit open, but I'll usually try my best to make sure that the two ends are as close as possible. So sometimes it just takes kind of that moving like this to really get it closed, okay? So now on the other end, we're gonna take that larger, I think this might be a 6mm jump ring, and it's the same idea. So we're gonna take it, I usually do one end like this, hold it, focus, focus. One end, hold it, other end here, okay, hold it really sturdy and strong, like this, and pull in the other direction, so we're like this. Okay, pull in the other direction, so we're like this. Focus. Okay, so now we're open. All right, so it's the same thing. Grab the other end, hook it, get your other plier, and maneuver it back. Sometimes it takes a little practice. Okay, so now I've maneuvered it back and forth so that we are closed. Ta-da, we're closed. Okay. And so now all we gotta do is make sure that we're working. Sometimes it's hard to do. We have longer nails, we're hooked. And there you have it. It feels kind of difficult, but I promise you that if you listen very carefully and just take your time, you will be able to do this too. And then with all the skills you learn, you can buy all these supplies and even do it on your own, okay? There you go.